Welcome to PowerPointSkills.com. Do you ever have to copy full web pages and paste them into PowerPoint presentations, or copy full screens from applications? You might be developing tutorials and then pasting the images into PowerPoint presentations. Quite often when you do this, you'll find yourself having to resize the images time after time after time to fit the PowerPoint presentation, because our screen capture size is much larger than the default PowerPoint presentation. There's an easy way around this we'll show you, and how you can resize the template of the presentation to suit. So what we're going to do here is show you how to capture first of all some images from a web page. So we've gone to Google Images and we have a full screen here that we'd like to capture. So I'm going to hit my print screen to capture that image, and what I want to do is paste that into my PowerPoint presentation. So let's go back to PowerPoint, and I'm going to zoom out so you can see the effect of this. So there's our PowerPoint. Let's paste our image now, and you'll see that it's much larger than the PowerPoint template. So I could drag the sides in and make that fit, but if I'm doing a lot of copy and paste, then that becomes a painful exercise. What I want to do here is actually resize the template. So let's right-click on the image and look at size and position, and we can read the dimensions of the image itself, the height and width. So it's 9.38 wide, high, by 15 wide. Now what we want to do is take those dimensions and put them into our PowerPoint template. Now if we do that, that means that we can resize the template so that when we paste the images, they'll be perfectly sized. So let's go and do that. Let's close this and then go to our design page, design tab and page setup, and go and resize the height 9.38 and the width to 15 inches, and say OK. Let's delete our original image and now repaste it into the presentation, and there we go, perfectly sized. And we can check that. You can see the template sitting underneath. Let's go back to our website now and copy another page. Let's go to the next page here of our images, copy that full page, and then go back to our PowerPoint to the next slide and paste. Bingo, perfectly sized every time. So you can do that as many times as you want to. Now the same applies when you go to applications. I'm going to start a new presentation, so let's go through that one more time. Let's go to Photoshop here. Here's an image of my 3-year-old twins, an invitation to their 3rd birthday party that I'm putting together in Photoshop. Let's copy that screen. I want the whole screen. Let's imagine that I'm putting together a tutorial on Photoshop, and I want to paste that into the presentation. So the same thing applies. The image is way too big. You can see on the left hand side here on the thumbnail that it's cutting off a lot of the full image. So if I go and zoom out, let's take a look at that. You can see they're much larger than we really want it. So let's look at the image dimensions to just check that. So let's right click on the image and look at size and position. It should be the same as before, 9.38 by 15, which it is. So I'm going to go back to Design and Page Setup and change that to 9.38 by 15. Fairly straightforward. Delete my image and repaste it. There we go, and perfectly sized. So I can add a whole bunch of slides here for my tutorial, copy and paste from PowerPoint, and each image will be perfectly sized every time. Fairly simple. Straightforward, and you can do that time and time and time again. That will save you a lot of time. Now when you go to present that in PowerPoint, PowerPoint takes care of all the dimensions and presents it as a full screen image, and you can see the full screen image coming up here, perfectly sized, all of the outsides, the edges, the borders, complete, perfect image every time. Should save you a lot of time. Thanks for joining us here at PowerPointSkills.com. Hope we see you next time.